Hey guys, it's Aoife from Fred Weasley Died Laughing, and excuse me because I have hiccups, so if I start hiccuping during this video, I apologise. I think I ate my dinner too fast or something. I don't know. So I'm just here with my second weekly wrap up of June, as I decided to start doing weekly ones instead of monthly ones, just to cut them down a little bit. So in my last, I combined my weekly wrap up last week with the TBR takedown because it was the same week. It was the first week of June, so that was grand. And then this week was just a normal week, normal reading week. And I finished off, I did mention it briefly in my last video, or my last wrap up video, that I was reading Poldark, or Ross Poldark of the Poldark series by Winston Graham. So I finished that up on Monday evening, I think, and yeah, so I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. As I said before, I already had a lot of opinions about the characters because I've watched the BBC series. My opinions didn't really change, except probably Elizabeth, who is Poldark's, Ross's girlfriend, who ends up marrying his cousin, which isn't a spoiler because that's, you know all that before going into it, really, that's happened. So yeah, I could deal with her character in the TV show. It might have been because she was so pretty in the TV show and she just looked really innocent. But in the book, I didn't really like her. I kind of felt that she was a little bit callous, a little bit cold-hearted when it came to Ross and what she'd done to him. I kind of felt that for me, she was one of the bad guys, yet at the same time you kind of end up feeling sorry for her. She just has this kind of demeanour about her that you do feel sorry for her and you don't want to feel sorry for her, because I didn't like her actions or the way she acted or the way she talked to anyone, really. I just didn't like it. So yeah, everyone else I really liked. I liked Ross, I liked Imelda, obviously, and I'm really looking forward to reading the next one. And as I said before as well, considering it was written a good while ago, it's still quite easy to understand. In terms of how classics are as well, it's fairly easy to understand. You'll definitely get on with it. And for historical fiction, it's really good. So yes, I would implore people to pick it up. And then after this, I read Everything by Nicola Yoon, which I got as an e-arc from NetGalley, in exchange for an honest review. And if anyone is on BookTube or on Goodreads, you've probably already heard a lot about this book. Everyone is basically raving about it, and so I kind of think that when you go into these books, it's really difficult to almost read them because you've heard so many good reviews, and for me, I'm almost scared to read them in case they disappoint me because I'm already expecting it to be really good because everyone has said it's really good. So I definitely felt that about this book, and guys, it's really good. So basically it is about a girl called Maddie who it's called Skids disease, or I think it can also be referred to as bubble boy disease, where she's basically allergic to the world, and she has to live in her house, which is basically has been protected against any outside elements. So she only ever really sees her mom and then her nurse Carla. That is her world, and Maddie is pretty much okay with that. She has like a friendship in her mom, friendship in Carla, and then she has her books and she goes on Tumblr and other things like that. So she doesn't really know what she's missing out on. And then a new family moved next door, and Ollie is a 18-year-old boy in that family. And from the get-go, Maddie and Ollie are attracted to each other. It is not insta-love. Thank the Lord, it is not insta-love, but it is definitely an attraction and then a friendship, and then it all leads up into, this amazing, lovely relationship. And it's just, the book concentrates on their relationship, how they're kind of facing that relationship with the fact that, like, Maddie can't be touched by anyone because of her sickness. And how, she kind of starts learning that maybe what she has isn't actually enough. Maybe she does want to be brave and maybe go against the rules and risk her life for, a little bit of time on the outside world, or in the outside world, I should say, on the outside / in the outside world. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. It completely blew me away. There is a plot twist near the end which absolutely floored me. I wasn't expecting it. I don't know if anyone else expected it or saw it coming, but I actually didn't, so it completely floored me. but in a good way. I loved the fact that this plot twist happened, because it completely took me by surprise, blew me away. So yeah, I would tell everyone to read it. It's coming out in September, I think, to bookshops. So I would definitely say to read it. It's very good. 5 out of 5 stars. And then the next book that I picked up after Everything was All the Bright Places by Jennifer Niven. And again, I'd heard a lot of mixed reviews about this book, so I wasn't really sure what to expect going into it, though I was hoping obviously that it would be good. And this is basically about a boy called Finch, a girl called Violet. They meet on top of the school's bell tower, where they're both contemplating jumping and ending their life. So the whole book is centered around depression and suicide, and the possibility of ending your life by suicide. So yes, I don't know why I picked this book after Everything, which is based around a girl with a disease. So I was just reading depressing books for a lot of this week. But yeah, it is. I really enjoyed this book. I felt it battled the whole stigma and the discussion around depression very well, the way that it can affect everyone. I felt that I really connected quite well with Finch's character. He was very vivacious, very colourful, so full of life, yet he was crippled by these dark days of depression that really hit him very hard. And I thought it was great that, like, outwardly people might look at Finch and not think that he felt that way about himself and he felt that way about life, yet it did happen to him. And I think it was great in saying that depression can happen to anyone. It doesn't happen to a certain class of people or a certain type of people. It happens to everyone. And as well, the whole stigma of depression, where people can treat you differently if they know that you're suffering from it or suffering from any kind of mental illness, that suddenly people kind of back off and don't want to be around you anymore or don't want their family around you. So yes, the whole book is centered that Finch and Violet kind of become friends, and while Violet's relationship with Finch is growing and her world is growing because Finch is showing her all these amazing things and she is starting to learn how to live life again after the death of her sister, Finch's, despite having Violet, is starting to grow smaller and his depression is starting to get worse. And there's almost a sense of despair about this because you don't know how Finch can come back because his depression is very real, and it's definitely a book that also battles the whole, sometimes you can't help people if they don't want to help themselves. People need to really want to help themselves first, and I felt that this book touched on that, which I think was great. So definitely a hard-hitting book, hit me right in the soul. If there's anyone who, who has triggers about suicide or about depression, maybe don't read it. It can be kind of a bit tough at times, a little bit depressing. So if you don't like reading about those things, don't pick it up. But generally it was really good. I kind of had to take a little bit after reading it, as you sometimes have to do with these kind of books. But yes, very good. 4 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. Then I also picked up Dogg Crazy by Meg Donoghue, and I really enjoyed this book as well. This was a 4-star book for me, and basically, like, if you don't like dogs, don't read this book, because this book is all about dogs, people who love dogs, people's relationships with their dogs and with other dogs and with dog-loving people. So yeah, if you're not a fan of dogs, this isn't a book for you. If you are a fan of books, obviously you're a fan of books if you're watching this video. If you're a fan of dogs, definitely pick this book up. This book is about Maggie Brennan, who is a pet bereavement counsellor. So she helps people who haven't been able to get over the death of their pet. But Maggie is kind of dealing with a lot of issues by herself as well, a lot of anxiety issues, and she's kind of trapped within these anxieties, and she hasn't been able to break free of them. And then she meets a girl called Anya, whose dog is missing, and everyone thinks her dog is dead, and she doesn't believe that the dog is dead. She believes the dog has been stolen. So her kind of attitude, she's a real kind of tough girl attitude, yet she's not really a tough girl, but she kind of breaks through, I guess, into Maggie, and Maggie really wants to help this girl, and so she starts to try and overcome her anxieties to help Anya try and find Billy, and she meets Anya's family and her friends. She starts going out and meeting other people, starts helping out with some rescue dogs, there's some bits in this book that obviously she's a pet bereavement counsellor, so there's bits in this book that really are really kind of lump in your throat if you have a dog, if you've dealt with the death of a dog. It really hits you hard. There was one point I was reading this on a packed morning commute on the train, and I was trying not to sob because it just really hit me. There was like a moment in the vets where she was describing this moment in the vets, and it was so sad. So yes, 4 out of 5 stars. And if you're looking for a tale full of waggy tails, a story full of waggy tails and cold noses and fluffy ears, go for this one, because it's nice. It's nice, it's sad, it's happy, it's kind of everything you want. So yes, I will go and read it if I were you. I'm currently reading American Gods by Neil Gaiman, which is going to be my green book for the Rainbow Readathon, which is happening during the week, and I'm about to do a video on that as well on my TBR for that readathon. So yes, I will leave that link somewhere around here, maybe up here, I don't know. Go and check it out. So yeah, Neil Gaiman, I'm really looking forward to reading this. This is also the May-June book of the month for the Little Owl Book Club. So yeah, I haven't read any Neil Gaiman before, and I've heard really great things about him, so I'm expecting great things. So you should check that out in my video next week to see what I think about it. So yeah, that is all for today, and I hope everyone is having a really, really nice weekend and you are enjoying some sun, hopefully. And I will see you again next time. So bye guys, thank you.